2010 book is when we started getting involved, and that's when it wasn't finished. 2010 wasn't finished.
It's definitely been a strong decline of the popularity of the yearbook.
2011, there was literally no staff.
But the yearbook has a pretty rich history.
I guess when the sophomore class came together and made a publication in 1854, and so that is considered the first edition of the Union's yearbook.
Book, and it was literally like, imagine an old leather-bound book where everything's perfectly like ornate and it just looks very professional. All the guys are wearing suits. They have their hair like combed back.
But as the years went on, the 1940s kind of went back in time almost. I mean, it was another period of war, so supplies were pretty low, and you really saw that reflected in the quality of the yearbook as well. And they didn't publish for 1 year, and that had been the first time they didn't publish for decades. 69, that's when all hell broke loose. It's when the Union book came out. And so for a series of 10 years, these really unique artistic publications that also really just featured these individual stories, the campus community. And that was really well reflected in the books. 1990s, you saw a decline in staff. Going to the 2000s, it was a pretty poorly manned publication, and it was really reflected in the quality of the book, and it's really declined since that time.
2000, it kind of turned into what we all know now as like a high school yearbook, which is like a bunch of sideways photos collaged together, and it looks gross. Social media definitely has, I guess how am I going to say this, bad wording, but created a decline in the want for physical media. So people don't, like, you have Kindles and stuff, so you don't have books on it. Then you have the internet, so you have screens, and especially Facebook, because people can just upload all of their photos on it. It's not as common for people to have printed out photos. So a book of what most people would say is just photographs doesn't really seem as appealing anymore. It doesn't have the same, like, I guess, feeling behind it, because people really, they take photos for granted nowadays. And from what we can tell, there have been some yearbooks that have used photos off of Facebook, and it's pretty apparent because they're all older, so they all have really poor image quality because they're downloaded from the internet, and they just look like nonsense photos that don't belong in a book.
And so we ended up reviving it with a lot of help of some really great people. But we finished the 2010 book, finished the 2011 book, and now here we are in 2012. We've now figured out this is the 155th edition to be coming out this year.
And that's one thing that we're trying to do this year is separate ourselves from Facebook, and so we're going on a more artistic approach to create a book that has things in it that you wouldn't normally see on Facebook and other social media sites. You know that it will definitely exist this year, next year, and we're hopeful that it will continue after onwards forever.
Onwards and upwards. Yes.
Yeah. If you don't have a yearbook, you don't have anything besides your own personal memories and the memories of those who you talk with about your college years and what it was actually like. And what we know that, like, things like Facebook and whatever, like I said before, social media, they're all temporary. They come and go as quickly as like that. Facebook might not be around in 50 years when you're, I don't know, 70 years old and looking back, but you'll always have your yearbook. It's got a nice alphabetically organized list of everybody who's you'll always forget.